Hello, my name is Les Moyer from the Word and Worship Trust and Mission Worship. I'm here for another program in the More Than a Song series. And it's so great to be here in Manchester with the Audacious worship team.
Hey.
So, Manchester is happening.
It is, and it's great to have you here with us.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I never come to Manchester without coming to Audacious. So, but tell me more about Audacious.
Yeah, so my name's Lynn Marie. I'm part of the Audacious worship team, and I'm joined with
I'm Matt.
And Sam.
Sam, all part of the worship team, part of the church, songwriters here, and I think our journeys to Audacious Church have all been slightly different, but Audacious Church has been started as a youth conference back in 2005, and that's how I actually started coming to church, through the youth conference, and developed into the church it is today with our senior pastors Glyn and Sophia, who are amazing. We love them very much.
Yes.
And this crazy church called Audacious, which we are very passionate about God. We love worshiping God, and that is how our music's, evolved as well.
Yeah, I love the name Audacious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so bold. And when I'm here, that's how the worship feels.
Yes.
I mean, you don't hold back at all, do you?
No,
we try not to.
We do. We're very enthusiastic. We often get asked, "What does audacious mean?" And it's to be bold,
bold, daring,
Cheeky.
unconventional, pushing the boundaries,
Dauntless.
and fun.
Fun,
And that's how we want our services at church to be. Church should be fun. Worship should be fun. It should be, unified and just fun.
Yeah. And I think exuberance is part of that. Like, we're always talking about, like, on a Sunday, we're a big church. We have a lot of visitors a lot of the time, so you end up finding yourself having to kind of or wanting to kind of let people know why it is we do what we do.
Yes.
And obviously by the first song in or something like that, if you ever come to our church or you see us online, you'll notice that we're definitely demonstrative and exuberant and all that kind of stuff. And so just letting people know there's a reason behind that. It's not just a word, it's not just an idea or it's something that Glyn and Soph feel really passionately about. God's given everything for us, and so why would we hold anything back in our worship and praise to Him?
Yeah, what I love about Audacious also is it's not just the worship team that are going for it. When you come to church, like the whole church are cut up in giving, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
I mean that's for me as a worship leader especially. And I think as songwriters as well, when we're trying to songwrite, we want to capture that essence of we're not a band and an audience, although it can feel that way sometimes with the lights and the stage and all that kind of stuff. But this is about bringing people on a journey with us.
Yes.
So as we're leading worship. And we had it just the Sunday gone. Actually, we had a great couple of services, and the church were louder than the band were.
Yeah.
And we got to that stage, which is where we always want to get to, where we're like, right, you guys are leading worship now, the congregation, you guys are singing loud, and that's our job done then. Really. So it's we're the worship team together as a church.
Yes.
And it is that passion for worship that just overflows. Like everything we do as a church is to see His kingdom here on earth, to bring His name glory, to bring God praise, and to see people connected with Him in His presence in a new way. So we do everything we do to see salvation. So that is why we exist as a church.
And you are a city church, aren't you?
Yeah.
Jimmy, that's that. And I was also amazed how many nations were in your church. Different people from different nations and.
I know.
The expression.
Yeah, so we just had International Sunday a couple of weeks ago, which was amazing, where we celebrated all the different nationalities that are represented within our church. And we took a poll, actually, to see how many nationalities there were and, where people are from. And we had 112 different nationalities represented in Manchester Central alone. So that was really special, actually.
Yeah. Wow. And I heard about something about the Watch Night service or the New Year's Eve service.
Yeah, we were talking about this before. We decided for the first time to do a New Year's Eve service where we, rung in the New Year together, prayed into the New Year and praised. And we were like, we don't know how many people we're going to get. We could have a few people, we could have a lot of people. And it turned out we were you know, packed outside. We had to remove some chairs. We had overflow in the foyer. People were abandoning their cars outside so they could run into church. And we always said that we're going to be a church that stops the traffic. And on New Year's Eve, we were.
Wow.
And it was boiling.
Job done.
Our church doesn't have air conditioning, so it was really hot. But it was great.
What a great way to bring in the new year.
Yeah, so we're doing another one this year. So if
There
you
you
want to
go.
come, you can come.
Right. What a party.
Yeah.
And Sam, tell me more about your involvement here and your role. And
Well, I'm one of the songwriters. I'm one of the music directors, and I come here on a Sunday, and I love it.
brilliant.
I also work for the church as a general creative, so I get to do music and I get to do graphic design and media and stuff. So
Excellent. And so there's a whole media department here, and
Yeah.
we have a
right.
fantastic media department.
Yeah.
We have about 8 or 9 people who are on staff, and we all just work here. And we generally believe, as a church, that creativity is something God has given us.
yes,
That it's a virtue, and it's something that is a value, and it's something that if you come to our church, you'll see creativity from the minute you walk through the door to when you walk back out again. There's in decoration, in the atmosphere, in the music, in the art, in the design, and all of those things. I mean, we put on Christmas and Easter events as well, which are always a very big creative involvement. So I have a part in dealing with the logistics.
You have a
of that.
huge part in sorting out all the music and
I
all
have
that
nothing
stuff.
to do.
You
I
are.
cannot confirm or deny. But yeah, that's what I do.
good. And how big
Sam's
is
a musical genius. Can I
Yeah.
just
It's not
say,
true,
so
don't put
that's,
that in.
no, it's true. It's
how
true,
big
it's
is the
not-
creative team with the worship team?
Oh my
question.
gosh, that is in Central alone. I don't know. We've got over 50 vocalists, I think.
Something like that.
I don't know how many
30 or so
It's about
musicians.
40, I think. Actually, we've had a little bit of an influx.
Yeah.
A few new people.
Quite a lot of us, but we send out to our north locations, our south locations as well. So they're not just serving in Manchester Central, they're serving across the whole of Manchester week in, week out. So they're a brilliant team.
Great.
They work hard and they love to serve. So.
Yeah. I want to find out more about your songwriting and just actually your times together as a team. So how does that all work?
So we've written our own songs as a church long before I joined the church 10 years ago. We've, like Sam said, we really love our creative department and appreciate people connect with God in different ways through creativity, songwriting being one of them. So we've always written our own songs and we sing other people's songs too. And that's just always been something we've done. So when I joined, I was taken under like Matt Hill, who you know very well. They really invested into us as young songwriters as well, and took us in. And we just, I suppose, anyway, learned the craft through watching them. And it's been a journey.
Yes.
It's been amazing to be in the rooms, and we have opened it up to our full creative team as well. So it's not an exclusive thing. Anyone can songwrite, anyone can submit a song, any style. You know, we can. Anything is up on the table, and we go through the process of refining them. They go to some of our pastors for theology checks.
Very good.
Because we understand that what we sing is powerful, and we
Yes.
want to equip and armour our church with songs that are truth and worship in spirit and in truth. And so there's also times in church where we have prophetic moments. So we talk about being loud and being crazy, but we also have moments of quietness and reflectiveness. And there's been a lot of prophetic moments that then develop into songs
Very
too.
good.
So we love collaborating as a
Yes.
team, and we've collaborated with other writers outside of church as well, like Jake Isaac.
Yeah.
I know, in the past we've worked with Aaron Baxter and Martin Smith and
Very
Johnny
good.
Bird and other people. So we've always loved songwriting.
Yeah, it's something that Glenn and Sophia Barrett, our pastors, are
Yeah.
really passionate about right from the start. They were saying that one of the things that God had put on their heart for our church was that it would be a church that resources the wider church. So we write songs for our church, and they come from our church, and that's we've been talking about that earlier. It's a really beautiful thing when you have a song that your church feels like it owns the song, and it's the church's song. It's not just something that's we've just put on people, but it's something that people grasp for themselves. But but also for the wider church as well. So we want to resource and equip the global church with great songs.
Yeah. My friend says that people sing their own songs the loudest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When they sing songs about their story, about what God's saying and what God's doing in their congregation, it means so much more.
Yeah,
and then if the song goes further, then it's amazing. But the main purpose is our song.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our story.
Yeah.
So how do you go away together? Do you have like songwriting weekends or songwriting days?
So we have songwriting days in church, so here where anyone can come and be part of it. And we also have songwriting retreats that we maybe do like once a year with, and we take different people on it all the time. And plan to continue doing that as well, so shake it up a bit. And we had one recently where we've just written a lot of new songs, and we didn't put any pressure on it. We didn't say here's our goals, we want to leave with this. We just firstly just worshiped God together as a group and prayed and asked God, what do you want to say to your church? Let us be a vessel to be your mouthpiece. What do you want to say? And we ended up leaving with 10 songs. So we are going to slowly introduce them to church soon, and hopefully people will be blessed by them and resonate with them, and we'll see what happens.
Very good. Yeah. And how big would the songwriting team be? Or, how many people would be in that?
I think if you're talking regular songwriters, maybe 10 to 15 regular songwriters, 10 people.
Very good.
People maybe have different, they contribute different things at different times.
Fantastic.
But I'd say we've maybe got about 15 people, 10 to 15.
Yeah, I think the nice thing is, like you were saying before, we've opened it up to the whole team, the whole church really. So there's the email address to submit songs is something that everyone has access to. So what we want to try and do is nurture that creativity for the church, and then we know that there are people who come to our church that maybe not necessarily be on the team or people that we know, but people who have gifts that we want to say come and contribute. Maybe you want to have a go at songwriting, you want to give it a try. Maybe get together with someone who can help you with that. Or so we always give feedback to people who might submit something. Obviously, doing that sort of thing, you get a lot of things being submitted. But we always want to find you kind of sift through for the gold, don't you? So the more you open it up, and the more ideas that come in, and the more creativity that's going on, the more likely you are to find an idea that's like, oh, that's amazing. That's really, we're going to develop that. Yeah. Maybe we'll invite that person onto a retreat or to get together to sort of workshop it or something like that.
Yeah. Sometimes people just have a phrase, don't they? Yeah. They just need that one phrase and to start off with. And,
absolutely.
And our friends at Gas Street, they have these Kingdom Come nights and a lot of spontaneous worship and just key phrases. Pop out, don't they?
Yeah, that's
Key phrases about what God's saying.
Yeah.
And then they take that away. And
I think quite a few of our songs have started like that. There's been many times Matt and I have been on worship together, and one of us have just started singing things, and it's turned into a song, and it's really it's a beautiful thing for God to just speak through us. Yeah, really beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and also the sharpening of it together.
Yeah,
and I found when worship teams write together, it's almost like when you do work on something together and then you see God use it, it gives you almost more confidence in what God wants to do through you.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do. I love those moments when you're leading and there'll be one of those points where something's going to happen. There's like something on that moment, and maybe like Marie said earlier, it's like a more reflective moment, and we're kind of sitting and waiting to see what's going to happen. And then when you do start singing something, and then someone responds from the congregation, those kind of moments where it's almost like and it's not like all people like that was good. It's like that's ministering to somebody, or like or you sing something, say something, and someone over here is like, come on, that kind of stuff, and we kind of. I love those moments where you can almost write things together. Just kind of,
I think it's fascinating how you come up with one good line and then the next one comes in those moments. Yeah, it's like you can spend hours debating whether it needs a different bit of grammar here, or maybe we put it the other way around, or we do stick it in the bridge. Like when you're away from that moment, but something about being in that moment almost forces you to improvise something that's totally in with the previous line.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm always amazed by it. Like if I'm standing at the back of the stage just playing and watching the worship leaders, I'm like, wow, they're just freestyling this stuff. Where's this coming from? The answer is obviously the Holy Spirit. But, you know, you don't really want songs that aren't inspired by the Holy Spirit.
No.
So starting in a spontaneous moment like that is an incredible way to just kickstart a really powerful song.
Yeah, because that's the holy moment, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the holy moment
Yeah.
in the Spirit. And people, they really want to be in an inspired moment. And being in worship is the most inspired moment
Yeah, absolutely.
it can be.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you about a couple of songs. So there's a song called All In, and that kind of sums up Audacious worship for me.
Yeah.
That you're basically all in.
Yeah.
And tell me more about that song.
Oh, I mean, it's. I mean, I think it's our name in a song, All In. It's we are. The song lyrics go, I'm all in for the King of Kings who set me free. I'm all in for Jesus Christ who lives in me. And it's that verse, you know, I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of Christ brings salvation. We, in a generation and in a culture where it's all about us, or they may be fearful, we're going, actually, it's all about God, and we are going to live our life on the line. We're going to put ourselves out there and say, our life is yours. We have laid down our life. We will pick up our cross. Wherever you want us to go, whatever you say, our life's yours, and we will praise you all the time.
It's also a really good example of collaborative songwriting done well.
Yes.
Because that was written across a team of people.
Yes.
Someone came with a really strong theological idea. Someone from one of the youth departments basically commissioned the song and said, hey, we want a song that says these theological things, which is almost the opposite of a spontaneous moment, but no less powerful. Because you can have a plan. You know, you can have a song that you're like, we need to say this because this is truth and this is declarative and this is important. And then you can approach that song with the plan. And then a group of people collaborated on fleshing out the lyrics and coming up with tracks and making things. I mean, it's one of those songs where in the verses, it sets up the correct position between man and God. It says in the first verse, here I am in awe of you, here in awe of all you've done. It basically, the first line puts you back and makes you go, oh, God is amazing and he does awesome things. And then when you go later on through that song, where it's not hype, it's not just loud, it's not just fun, it's declarative and it's powerful when you get to the chorus, and when you get to that bridge, obviously where it's I'm all in. It's almost like a promise that you end up shouting and singing to God in like an almost I'm all in for the King of Kings, and it's summing up theology in 6 words or less, which is what the power of that song.
And I think it's what Sam just mentioned there. Our youth at the time was called All In. So they, it was written for something our youth to like really declare, and it became their song. And whenever we write songs, we never write to release. We always write for the house, and it's a capture of what's happening and what's going on in the house at the minute. And we, when we release it, it's more of like this is an overflow of what God's doing here. In Audacious, in our team, in our church. So
it's also got one of those melodies that they will chant back at you until you play it. So we can do any youth night or even like a Sunday night. We rock up to play, and then it comes to the end. It's like, all right, goodbye, church, and the youth are down the front like
hitting the stage.
They're hitting the stage.
Hitting
the stage.
And we're tired. We're going really, and they're like, come on.
We're at the back on the laptop,
So they're
programming it really quick. Load it in, go.
So the congregation is actually leading the worship.
By that point,
that is the goal of worship leading. It is
stir up that hunger.
Yeah, it's very much to lead, and then like, well, they're still with me, and in fact, they want to go more, and that's responding to that. So
Well, thanks so much for that, and I hope today was so helpful to you as a worship team. Also, just great to hear what God's doing here in Audacious. If you liked today, please hit like, subscribe, and share with anyone you think should hear this. God bless you.